or they try to.
What in God's name is going on in here? What was that ruckus?
What ruckus?
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
You're now listening to Music Impulse with Smilez.
Alright, y'all, it's your boy Smilez, and we back for another episode of the Music Impulse. On this episode, I had to, fly out to the Bay, fly out to the West Coast, hit up my brother, Cousin Free.
Yo, what's good? What's the word, Smilez?
We got this new ScHoolboy Q album, Blue Lips, out, TD representative, black hippie representative up in the building, he just dropped his fifth sixth album, Blue Lips, so it was only right that I had to, hit you up, help walk me through and guide me how this whole West Coast thing is going, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you can break it down and help me better understand it, because, we talking about on Inaudible Ruckus, shout out to Big Papa Skeeter and E-Ray from the Inaudible Ruckus podcast, and it's talking about how, our West Coast representative right here, you break it down, let us know about this West Coast stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we got into it a little bit, but we didn't really go in depth, so we can kind of give it a little more thought in this. So yeah, let's get into it.
Oh yeah. So first off, just what was your overall thoughts of the album?
Overall thoughts, I thought it was solid. I thought it was a step up from Crash Talk. Crash Talk, even though I liked a couple of songs on it, it wasn't like my favorite ScHoolboy Q album. I was a little disappointed in it. I feel like he just kind of put it out there. He even said he had a whole album recorded, and then Mac Miller died, then he scrapped it and kind of started over. So it kind of felt a little rushed. Like there were some reaches for like some crossover singles, well, not really crossover, but for some more radio friendly singles, I should say.
Yep.
And it didn't really, even though there were songs I liked, just didn't vibe with me. This album, like I said on Friday when we recorded IR, it felt more in line with older TDE releases, like before they started making like joint ventures with major labels with Kendrick and things like that, before SZA came along, all that type of stuff. So it reminded me of like a Setbacks or a Habits and Contradictions or a Section 80 or a Control System, more along those vibes. So it was a nice little throwback, and I kind of hope that's the sound they try and use going forward, because it kind of takes me back and reminds me of like old TDE when they were first starting out and first blowing up.
That's definitely how I got it, because I got hip to him doing Habits and Contradictions. That was when I first got hip to Q, and just again listen to this album. I was like, okay, yep, it's kind of like back to roots. It's nothing really radio single friendly, and it really just felt like a whole complete album to me personally, because it's like I don't think it's one bad song on the album. Overall, it's like, sometimes it's like you might be like a skip like here and there, but it's like nothing really like, okay, it's just trash to me. The whole album overall is just a really good album. Now, a lot of songs I definitely think like, it could have been longer, especially like Pop with Rico Nash. I was like, oh, she about to go in. I'm like, hold on, wait, it just ended. And then, like we talked about with Ohio with Freddie Gibbs, it's like,
Freddie Gibbs,
what's going on?
Or a movie when the beat switches in. I don't know who. Let me see who that artist is. Who's the feature on movie?
AZ Chia, whatever, Cheek, whatever. And that was my favorite part. That was like his verse was. I was like, this verse.
Yeah, his verse was hard, but I wanted to hear ScHoolboy rap on it too. And then it just ended. I'm like, oh shit. But I felt the same way. I think cohesive. It's a very cohesive album. You can see he went for just a consistent sound throughout, not too many, because albums today are more like playlists where each song sounds completely different and there's no cohesiveness, just a bunch of tracks thrown together and put out. This sounded like there was cohesiveness, but I would say I don't feel as strongly about it as you, because there's definitely some songs where I'm like, I'm probably never gonna listen to that song again.
What's some of those for you?
Man, shoot. Let's see. Probably Nunu. Maybe Germany '86. Back in Love wasn't very memorable.
Yeah,
Yearn 101 was all right for me. You know, it's so like I said, it's not the majority of the album, but there's a handful of songs where it's like I'm not about to listen to this anymore.
yeah, I definitely understand. Especially, yeah, like Nunu wasn't like a standout to me. I like, yeah, it's like because I wrote down like some of my favorite track. Yeah, Yearn 101 is one of my favorite. What is like on the lower end of like my favorites.
Right.
Because I said I put for my favorite tracks I put Pop really because of the Rico Nasty verse. Thank God for Me.
Yeah, that was a highlight for me too. That was a good song.
Blue Slides. I'm glad I waited to the album to hear that one because I know that it got a lot of great reviews when he dropped the song. So I was glad to finally hear that on the album. I was like, I intentionally was like, nope, I'm not gonna listen to it until I hear the album. I need to hear it. And the full aspect that was definitely probably like my favorite one is Blue Slides probably. Yearn 101, Lovebirds, Movie for that AZ Dudes verse, Ohio again for the Freddie verse and the beat flip, Foe because I love me some Absol.
School Q and Absol, they always make great
collab
music
tracks
together. Their collabs are always fire, so for sure. What was the last one? I'm sorry.
Lost Times.
Yeah, Lost Times was good. Yeah, Lost Times was a good track. Yeah, for me, Pop. Yeah, Pop was dope. Thank God for Me. Yeah, that might be my favorite song on the album, honestly. Blue Slides was dope. Movie was dope. Like I said, I just wish he had a verse on it. I like Cooties. That's probably like the most introspective track. I like what he was rapping about because it was like real life stuff, worrying about school shootings and sending your kid to school and stuff like that. That was interesting. Ohio for all the same reasons you mentioned. I actually don't like the beat switches a lot. This is a theme on the album. It's actually a theme on a lot of albums going forward. To me, if you want to do that on like a 2 or 3 songs, cool, but like every other song, shit gets to be distracting to me. Like especially when you switch it like 2 or 3 times, like it's hard for me to focus on the song.
He had a lot of that because because it'll slow down and it's like, nope, this is a whole nother beat.
right. Like I can't really focus on what you're talking about. Foe, yeah, for sure. Foe with Absol, because like I said, when they make music together, they don't usually miss. First is cool. I like the little sample they had on First. I'm trying to figure out what song that came from.
I gotta look into that. I love that because I wrote that down. I was like, I love how he was speaking like his struggles and his achievements and everything. If you really break down his verses, it's like on this end I'm doing this and this, but hey, on this end I got this stuff is really going good in my life.
And Lost Times, Lost Times was definitely a song I enjoyed a lot. And then Pig kind of got me hyped a little bit. That's another one of my favorite songs. Yeah, on the album. So yeah, so the majority of the album I like. There's only a handful that I don't really feel strongly about.
I'm like, yo, I'm glad to hear him, especially he said this majority of the album, if not all the album, was done like 2021, 2022. So it's like, yo, he's been sitting on this really for like 2 years.
Right. But to me, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I understand at some point you got to stop. You can't pull a Kanye and keep tweaking until the last minute. Because when I hear artists drop an album, I want to hear where they're at now. Like you said, 2022 is 2 years ago. Like your whole perspective could shift in 2 years. But I understand album drops. It's like it's not a process where you can drop right where you're at this point. You got to be in the studio, you got to record stuff, you got to get samples cleared. So I understand why it probably sat for a little bit. And you know, Top Dog is notorious for letting artists sit before they drop them for a while. You got SZA, Absol, you know, shit like, even though they have personal stuff going on too that contributed to that, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just happy we got it at the end of the day.
Yeah, because it was like, SZA go through it every album. We see her tweet, I'm ready to drop the album. Wish I could just have it right now.
Right. Well, then
then the next tweet, but I love Punch and Top Dog. They're amazing. I love them.
Right. And she could be right. You know, a lot of times it's business at the end of the day. It ain't personal.
Yeah, it's like they believe in her and they like, hey, just follow the guidelines or whatever. Just follow the steps that we got in place. Don't worry.
And now look at her. She done took the flag from Kendrick. She the the top dog in TDE, for lack of a better term. No pun intended.
Everybody else on the roster is heating up too because I think it's this upcoming week. Sir's new album.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who it was. I think it was Punch. I saw a tweet. He was something like, "Yo, his group, a room full of mirrors. Like they dropping like singles like every Monday. I've caught like a few of them. I'm like, yeah, his crew. They all just nothing but a bunch of spitters.
Shit, I didn't even know he was in a group.
Yep, it's him, Daylight, I think like 3 or 4 other like rappers, and they call themselves a room full of mirrors.
Okay.
And it's just get a chance for to hear some punch bars every now and then. Some will be like solo joints because like it's been a couple like solo Daylight joints, and they'll just say a room full of mirrors featuring Daylight.
Okay. So you think you're gonna hear everybody, and it's just him?
Yeah, and it'd be like one person on there, or sometimes they'll have everybody on there. But it's cool just because they're like, hey, Punch is like, yo, you the head dog of TDE, and you got bars too.
Right.
But yeah, he said like everybody's pretty much gonna drop this year for the most part. He was like, yo, we working on a compilation album. He said Absol gonna drop again. Sorry about the drop. He said SZA's about to follow up with her Lana EP, which is, I guess they said started off as the SOS Deluxe, but then they were just like, yo, let's just make it a whole new project. It ain't even like no deluxe, just it's a whole new project.
Kind of like Untitled Unmastered. Mm-hmm.
I liked what comes to the tweets and stuff that ScHoolboy Q's been doing. Like he's been tweeting, like talking about the album, getting feedback, and I saw like one of them was like, yo, are you gonna drop a deluxe? He was like, I ain't doing that. He was like, why would I wait a week or 2 weeks to add 3 or 4 more songs to this just for like an extra 10,000 in sales? Like,
yeah, because it's blatant what artists do now with the deluxe. I'm like, y'all are not slick.
Yeah, he was like, this is nothing but these artists and label games, and he's like, nah, I'm not about to play them. Right.
Respect to that. Yeah, before we dive more in depth to like Q's own analysis of like his career, I want to say I'm mad about that compilation album because y'all waited till Kendrick left the label to do a compilation album. Right. We could have had a Black Hippie album if y'all would have did one with him. Now I understand it's probably hard to get all of them in the same room, but shit, man, like I'm still gonna listen. I'm still gonna be looking forward to it, but it could have been so much more. It would have essentially been a Black Hippie album if Kendrick was still there. Right.
That's one thing I'm definitely gonna hate. It's like, yo, we never got a full Black Hippie albums. Like y'all guest feature on like songs here and there, or y'all might do like a remix to somebody's joint, and like, okay, like this is the ScHoolboy, like that part, like how he did the Black Hippie remix with that part.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yo, what about a project? It's like, before Kendrick dipped off, y'all could have gave us like a little EP or something at least.
Right, it could have been like 6 songs and I would have been happy.
Mm-hmm. And could have been like, yeah, he's really on like 3 songs. Like,
right. I would have been cool.
Mm-hmm. So I am definitely sorry about that. It was like, yo, come on. If y'all gonna do this album, come on. Still give us like at least one Black Hippie joint. Like,
right. I like hopefully Kendrick will at least get some features on that compilation, but we'll see.
Also, along with that, ScHoolboy Q's been talking about it, and we've talked about it on IR with like stuff that Vince Staples got on. He was talking about how like the West Coast is the best coast, really right now, because like I said, he said, I got the tweet. He said Tyler doing shit with Louis Vuitton. Ty Dolla $ign got the #1 album right now in the world with Kanye. Vince got a whole fucking show on Netflix. Sir coming out. Rayvon got the new joint with Pusha. Alchemist been doing shit since he was 15, and he's still doing it. Hit Boy Going Dumb, and Blue Lips coming up next. I just wanted to ask you, how are you feeling about the West Coast right now?
I mean, that's cool, but he's only talking about LA, and I'm not mad at that because he's from LA, so he's only speaking off his perspective. But there's artists blowing up in the Bay Area too. The shirt I got on right now, Larry June, he's big time now. He's not just a regional rapper anymore. He is now on a national level. So there's rappers in the Bay blowing up, like I said, like Larry June, like Russell. There's guys coming up in the Bay too that they need to think about and remember. But yeah, he didn't tell no lies. Idiots like DJ Academics may think the West Coast isn't popping, but that's just because he's not paying attention. He's too busy sucking Drake's dick every 5 minutes before that he can't open his ears to anything else. But it's all good, you know. The music that really moves the culture content wise, and the music that's really copied stylistically outside of the South is happening on the West Coast. And Chicago too. I want to shout out Chicago too, because like we always say, New York bit their whole style, bar for bar, flow for flow, with that drill shit. That shit is embarrassing. If New York rappers doing drill should be fucking embarrassed. I don't give a fuck how many guns you got, how much drugs you sell. Nigga, your style is not yours. That shit is sad.
That's Chicago.
That shit is sad and trashy.
And remember what Jadakiss said years ago? It was like, if you mad, like if everybody went Southpaw. Like first they was trying to do everybody going to the South and Miami and doing all the shit. Now they doing all the Chicago imitations. Like, what is the New York sound? We don't know what the New York sound is, and they try to make it seem like, oh, New York drill is different from Chicago. No, it's all the same thing.
Yeah. New York, and I think the only difference between New York drill and Chicago drill is New York drill is always on that same stupid ass beat. That's the only difference. But yeah, New York ain't had, and I don't want to keep going on this rant. New York ain't had an original sound since maybe Dipset.
Yep.
That was the last originality in hip hop. Dipset, maybe I can't even say G-Unit because they had a heavy West Coast influence because of working with Dr. Dre. But yeah, I would probably say Dipset. That was the last originality, because you say ASAP Mob, they was inspired by Houston and shit.
Yep.
Houston and Memphis. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's just kind of sad. But at least those other groups were open about who they were inspired by and not just straight biting shit.
That's I definitely, again, like the West Coast doing anything. New York, yeah, I don't know what New York is. South is the South. They still running things.
Oh yeah, they're still dominant. They're still dominant. But the South is a lot of the reason why music industry's fucked up, because they put out popping singles. Nobody cares about the albums. Now labels only care about recouping off the singles and streams, and they don't. Yeah, they don't. They could give a damn about your album. You gonna take this advance we give you, and you better bring it back double, or sorry to you.
Right.
Like and the advance be $10,000 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but they expect you to sell a million copies. And now we got court shit talking about arguing over trying to give the artist 1 penny. Like, why are we talking about in court cases about trying to give the artist 1 penny?
The game's all fucked up, Smilez. The game is all fucked up.
That's all. Like, the future of the music industry is just, yeah, I don't know what's going on. But to kind of get back to like the next generation and TDE and all that, how are you feeling about this next generation, or like this resurgence of TDE overall? What they new are, you know, like the Lance Skywalker, the Ray Vaughns, and all that, and Sir and Isaiah Rashad. You know, kind of like he's like the mid to new school, like, cause you know he already got a few albums under the belt with him and all that, but he's about to come back out. How you feeling about the future of TDE, especially someone who's from around that area and all that?
It's just interesting how the label is now. It started out as an indie rap label, and now the biggest star on their label is an R&B singer.
Right.
So I just think that's very interesting. But cool, and I like SZA, so it's not like a problem to me. It's just interesting. Some of those guys I haven't really checked for. I've never heard a Ray Vaughn song. I've never listened to a Lance Skywalker song outside of his features.
Yeah, that's
Zakari, never heard a Zakari song outside of his features. I've listened to what's dude from Carson that signed to the label? What's his name?
Oh, Reason.
Yeah, I've listened to Reason's album. Reason is cool. I like Reason.
Yes, I like Reason.
Yeah, I know he got into it with the label not too long ago, but it seems like things may have been patched up. I haven't heard anything since. But I like Reason. Of course, you know, I like the artists that's been there. You know, the ScHoolboy, the Absol, the J Rock. You know, Sir grew on me a lot. I'm a big fan of Sir. I do like Isaiah Rashad. So I think they're fun. I think, like I said earlier, I think they're just gonna kind of go back to what they were doing, where they were kind of a niche label. Like, we're gonna put out these independent releases. We're gonna let them make their own sound the way they want to make it. And the content will speak for itself. We don't need all that style and substance anymore outside of SZA. But SZA's to the point now where she could make any type of album she wants and it's gonna blow up because she's that popular.
Yeah, and then I love it. Like it seems like they really going back to the roots of, again, like grooming an artist and growing an artist. Like, hey, you know, we working on your sound, we working on your audience. Like it ain't gonna be, it's no rush. Like,
right.
If you find your audience and you find your sound, you'll be there. And again, like you said, with SZA running, it's like what she's bringing in helps the whole label out. Because I done heard that plenty of times. They're like, hey, it was like Jay-Z and, you know, like Rockefeller or this or Ja Rule pretty much carrying all of Def Jam, while everybody else was able to pull out their little middling, you know, so albums because they was paying for everything.
Right. And it's like there's no pressure now. Oh, we need the radio single, we need the single to blow up to get these streams up. It's like, hey, just make your album. You got your built-in fan base already. Just cater to them, and at least they'll be consistent in supporting you.
You know, go on some tours, do this, do that. You'll be good. It's like you don't, especially nowadays with streaming, you don't really need a cosign really all like that. And it's like
right.
Being on the label is the cosign. But also, I was gonna ask you about your rankings of his albums, because Q put out his ranking. So at number 1, he put Blue Lips, of course. I feel like every artist does that when they
right. Their latest release is my best release, right?
Yeah. Blank Face is number 2. Habits and Contradictions is 3. Oxymorons 4. Crash Talk was 5, and Setbacks is 6. Now I was gonna go through mine's first before we went to yours. So I got Habits and Contradictions number 1 just because for me that was the first one I heard. It's a nostalgic factor for me. Like I feel like nothing's better than that one because it's just like, oh, I just remember hearing all these songs back in the college days and early moving to Texas days. Blank Face is number 2 for me. I put Blue Lips number 3. After I done listened to it a couple times, I'm like, okay, this is a really strong project. Oxymorons number 4, but once I listen to Oxymoron again and listen more to Blue Lips, you know, it might flip flop. Blue Lips might go up, might go down. I don't know. Crash Talk I got number 5, and then I put Setbacks at number 6 just because I've actually never heard Setbacks.
Setbacks is a decent project, but you could tell he hadn't been rapping long when he dropped that. There's a couple good songs on there. That was the first time I heard Jhené Aiko was on Setbacks.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I would go probably same as you, Habits and Contradictions number 1, just because when that shit came out, that shit was kind of an anthem to a lot of debaucherous nights. And it just that's when he kind of came into his own as an artist, where he was like really, you know, rapping well. The song quality was really well. There's some classic songs on that album. So yeah, I think that's when he like established like, yeah, he could be a really good artist. So that's number 1. I said number 2, I'm gonna go Oxymoron, just because there's just some songs I just still listen to this day on Oxymoron, like Yay Yay, Studio. There's a lot of good songs on that album. Man of the Year. There's some.
Man of the
Yeah. There's some great songs on that album. I know
that was on the workout playlist.
Yeah. I know. He probably feels like that's an album he kind of had to go a little commercial. Collard Greens, forgot about Collard Greens. Yeah, that was on there too. He probably felt like he had to go real commercial, and that's probably why he doesn't like it as much. But I think it had crossover appeal. I mean, it went platinum, so he did something right with it. So Oxymoron is at number 2. Number 3, I'm gonna go Blank Face, because he was rapping on Blank Face. He was rapping really well on Blank Face. It was hard. That album was hard. And of course it had a smash single on there too at that part. So that's number 3. Number 4, I'm gonna go, I actually might go Setbacks for number 4. Just because that was my first introduction to him. There were some really good songs on there. You could tell he was just starting out his career, so I understand why he has that so low. He was still kind of figuring out how to rap. But There's some good now, and then it could change if I listen to Blue Lips, because I probably need to listen to it a few more times to really get a final feel of it. So Blue Lips might move up. And I have Blue Lips at number 5. And then I have Crash Talk at number 6, just because they've been, like I said a few times, there are songs I like, but it just didn't really hit me like that. It didn't really do what it was supposed to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like overall that's kind of like everybody's low, like 5th, 6th range is the Crash Talk, because again, like he said, hey, I don't really like the album. He's like, but he said also was a couple songs where he was like, hey, I did some of my best rapping on a couple of those joints.
Maybe, I don't know if we listened enough to really know.
Yeah, it was like at least you could probably pull like a couple songs off of it. But yeah, just overall, I'm happy for the album. I can't wait to see what he does next. I hope this at least, I don't know if it's album of the year, like worthy type of talk later in the year, but we shall see. Excited to see what he does. I hope he keeps promoting the album, like maybe get a couple features on some other joints. And I also thought, me being the Wale fan, I was like, if Wale kind of follows this same blueprint that Q did with this album, I think he could do really good. Like not the wild manic, tweeting and just tweeting about the album, just giving little tidbits in here. Again, because I've never seen Wale do it, like rank your own albums. I wouldn't mind seeing Wale do that.
I appreciate the social media discourse, because it wasn't like how some artists come on and just, like you said, go crazy, just saying all this shit. He was really like tweeting like he was a regular person.
Yeah.
He just happened to be a multi-platinum rapper. It was cool that he was interacting with people. He was kind of talking about the process. He was talking about how he felt in his career. So I thought that was cool. I feel like it was a throwback to like Twitter in the old days when celebrities used to tweet with no filter and artists used to tweet with no filter and shit like that. So that was cool. I'm interested to see what happens next. ScHoolboy did have a good feature on the Larry June and Cardo album, The Night Shift. There's a song on there called Pop Out he's got a feature on. And he pretty much had the best verse on that song.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. I was like, cause I'm still new to the Larry June hive. Really hadn't really sat down and super like I shot maybe like a playlist like a couple years ago that I was like, okay, this is some shit. I was like, okay, I see why y'all like Larry June, but I haven't really sat down and really just fully dive deep into any of his full projects, just like the songs here and there. Which I meant to say this at the top. The definition, I got the definition of Blue Lips that ScHoolboy Q mentioned. He said the definition for Blue Lips in his mind is leaving you speechless, especially as a temporary result of shock or some strong emotions. And just basically just listen to how there's so many moments on here where the flow, wordplay, and the production all gang up over you, but also leaving you both shocked and speechless.
Oh, that's what it is? I thought it was just some Crip shit. That's all I thought it was.
I thought it was too. I'm like, oh.
That's probably what it is. But you know how rappers be, they're like, oh, let me give it some deep meaning, when in reality is some Crip shit. Like, Thug Life is Thug Life, Pac. I know you said the hate you give little infants, little fucks everybody, but Thug Life is Thug Life. You know what you need to say. R.I.P.
Right. Speaking of Tupac and everything, I wanted to actually go into real quick. What is your West Coast Mount Rushmore?
For me, I would have to say, Tupac is number one. Even though multiple people can claim him, he really made his name out on the West Coast. So the Bay Area, then you move to LA. But the Bay Area really claims him. So I got Tupac. Then of course I got Snoop Dogg, because Snoop Dogg's probably the most successful rapper of all time. Yeah.
Yes, I say that in all the time, because again, I'll tell you how just last weekend I didn't even know he had a whole kids album. I was like, see, this just furthers my argument. Snoop Dogg can do anything and go anywhere and be loved by everybody, and no one's gonna question it.
This nigga wears Skechers now and sells Skechers, and no one cares.
Right.
So yeah, definitely Snoop. And then I would have to go E40.
Okay.
Especially for E40, just kind of finding a second win in his career. After hooking up with Little John, making My Ghetto Report Card,
Yeah, because that's when I
classic
got hip to him.
album. But then not only that, now he's, his business is really speaking more for him. With the wine and the food, and he's pretty much like the unofficial ambassador for the Golden State Warriors. So just E40 continuing to reinvent himself, even though he's been around since like the early 90s, late 80s. So and then lastly, I have to go to Too Short, because Too Short is just Mr. Consistency. What you see is what you get, but it's gonna put you up on game, and he's always gonna represent Oakland. So yeah, that's a legend and stuff too. And a lot of your favorite rappers, no matter where they from, you listen to their music, you listen to their lyrics, you listen to how they talk, they got a lot of their game from Too Short. E40 too, but Too Short was pretty universal as well.
I can't remember. Was it you that posted that Too Short clip in the group chat on IG about him being in the studio with Dr. Dre?
Oh yeah.
He was like, that was the best. He was like, that's literally the best verse I've ever done, and y'all have never heard it.
Right. That shit.
Thanks to Dr. Dre.
That's definitely just something like. That's why Dr. Dre's not on my Mount Rushmore, because the nigga be shelving shit too much. Just drop the shit, man. Stop being a perfectionist.
Yeah, this is it. Cause I remember, because again, I'm a big Ludacris fan. Like Ludacris is like overall like my number one before like Wale and J. Cole. But I remember him saying like, "Yo, I was in the studio like writing joints for it." Never.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that on his Drink Chaps interview.
It's like, what? Like, yo, I wrote some bars for Dre to rap over, and like the fact that there's so many rappers and stuff that's like, yes, I wrote stuff for Dre for that album, and we've never heard it.
Not only that, there's artists who've recorded full albums with Dr. Dre that never saw the light of day. They just sat on the shelf.
It's like, and what did Too Short say? He was like, he sat there and said like pussy for like 2 hours
right
straight.
He had to make him say pussy. Like, yeah, I'd have been like, you know what, I don't need this feature that much. I'm gonna leave.
I was like, dog, I'm not about to say just one word. Like, nah, say it like this. No, it's the word pussy. How many?
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Neezy here. I wanted to make sure that y'all go and get your Naturally Nay Instant Moisture Duo. That's right, this Instant Moisture Duo can be used on braids, locks, twists, beards, and all of your natural hair. The moisturizer is all natural ingredients. One of our key ingredients, aloe vera. Aloe vera is really great for your scalp. And our oil blend is a mixture of the best oils that you can use to promote hair growth and give your hair a good shine and overall just a natural glow. So you're getting two amazing products. Make sure you go to inaudibleruckus.com/naturallynay. And also you can follow us on Instagram at naturally_nay, NAEE.
Let's step on the gas. Me and you hitting the dash. I don't wanna never be last. So I'ma keep stacking this cash. Fuck it, baby. Let's take over Phoenix. We can be Amari and Nash. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass, yeah. Let's step on the gas. Me and you hitting the dash. I don't wanna never be last. So I'ma keep stacking this cash. Fuck it, baby. Let's take over Phoenix. We can be Amari and Nash. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck. My hands all over your ass. Yeah, I promise I'm giving you the best that I got. I promise, girl, my best, it's gon' have us a lot. I might be broken, but a broke nigga, baby, I'm not. Girl, you that bitch, sit on your high horse and save me a spot. See all your needs, girl, I'm gon' meet them. All your wants, girl, I'm gon' feed them. Since they looking, girl, let's freak them. And your needs, girl, I'm gon' weak them. Me, you money, that's a threesome. Watching money make you come. You stay reppin' where you from. You my slime, girl, you just like me. It makes sense that you mine. I got money on my mind. mine. I got your nut in my chin here, girl, I'm snatching out your spine. Girl, I'm grinding daily, fuck you crazy, yeah, I'm in my prime. And they mad that I ain't fall off yet, they treat me like I'm Brian, yeah. Let's step on the gas, me and you hitting the dash. I don't wanna never be last, so I'ma keep stacking this cash. Fuck it, baby, let's take over Phoenix. We can be Amari and Nash. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass, yeah. Let's step on the gas, me and you hitting the dash. I don't wanna never be last, so I'ma keep stacking this cash. Fuck it, baby, let's take over Phoenix. We can be Amari and Nash. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass. I'ma keep my foot on their neck, my hands all over your ass, yeah. We paper chasing, I love you dedicated. I need you, that's understated. My lungs stay medicated, but look, today's a new day. We Durant and D-Book. Let's hit the dash on these niggas like a two-felon crook. Lil' mama, okay, should I just squeeze or get you off, treat you like OJ? Keep calling me Poppy, I know some Spanish like I'm Jose. Too focused on goals to even him chanting Ole. I always made away from no way, but baby, my foot on their neck. Think about stomping them out, my hands on your ass, you poking it out. Thinking about choking you out, niggas is snakes, I can't leave it in doubt. You see what they doing for clout? Niggas is trash, they Oscar the Grouch. A real ass nigga, my OG can vouch. It's too much money to think I'm a slouch. Pussy so wet, girl, you fucked on my couch. Do that again and I'll make you a spouse. Dicking you down every room in the house. Niggas know what the fuck I am about. All about getting this money with my little honey. Don't matter the city, we hitting the gritty because the way we run these routes, yeah.
It's BA, Black IRS, aka Black Wall Street in the building.
This is E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, Peen Malenko, of course, the American cream, Brody Loads.
And I am your pod guy, your pod tribal chief, the boy A-Dub in the building. And this is Let Me Book the Territory, the greatest four-man wrestling podcast known to mankind.
Absolutely. And you can catch us now on Inaudible Ruckus Presents. And we'll be here every Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're ready for it, to sweet me when you see me and let the madness run wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say?
Wait, how do you need to hear every single letter and syllable pronunciated? Like, what's going on?
Yes, I know he definitely had to call Snoop afterwards, like, nigga. This nigga.
Snoop tried to tell him.
And I've already done 2 8-hour sessions with him, and he's gonna bring me back just to say the word pussy for 2 hours. Like, this shit better be fucking fire when I hear the final version.
And it probably would have been, but we will never know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of really just want to go through, talk about the Q album, talk a little West Coast stuff. But I definitely want to also give you a chance to talk about the Blerds In The Trap podcast that you got going on. Let the folks know about this super dope podcast you got going on right now.
Yes, sir. Me and my brother, Dr. Jones, we got a podcast called Blerds In The Trap. Episodes around Mondays. We usually talk about just, everything in blur culture, nerd culture, from, TV, movies, video games, anything within the fandom, comic books, anything within the fandom. If we're into it, we're going to talk about it. We just had a last episode last month where we, talked about, some of the current state of the MCU. We do MCU check-ins every once in a while. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. We talked about the announcement of the Fantastic Four casting. We talked about the X-Men 97 trailer, which is about to drop in like another week or so. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, we're going to record an episode this month. We're probably going to just kind of do a check-in about what we're watching, what we're enjoying lately. So be on the lookout for that. And then maybe you'll get some recommendations on some dope shit you can check out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which actually, again, another, San Diego Comic-Con, off the top of the dome, I thought about this the other day. With San Diego Comic-Con, because I saw that they said James Gunn is not going to be there because he's like, hey, I'm knee deep in Superman. Do you really think that Comic-Con is really like that go-to avenue anymore for at least for like the DCs and the MCUs? Because I was like, Disney has the Disney
D23.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty big. It's still pretty big because it's really not just for, movies and TV and stuff. There's a lot of comic book creators there that you can meet and interact with and things like that. So it really runs the whole gamut of pop culture. I mean, it's funny. It used to just be for comic books, and now it's just a whole pop culture thing. So I think it's still pretty big, but yeah, it's definitely not as big as it used to be because of all the other options that are out there. And then I think COVID kind of knocked some of his luster off. So I think they didn't have it for like 2 years due to COVID. But I would recommend it if you've never been to go at least once. I went back in 2007. Crazy experience, super fun time, really cool. And just San Diego itself is just a dope city. So it gives you a reason to go visit it gives you a visit to it gives you a reason to visit San Diego. I've never had a bad time in San Diego.
Yeah, that's what I said. I want to go 1 year just because, my brother said, hey, you're always welcome here. You got a place to stay here. So I was like, I definitely got to do that 1 year, hopefully real soon. Yeah,
man, you have a good time, man. It's dope out there.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't mind having to go to the hassle of, the crowds and all that. I'm definitely going to make sure I'm masked up because they're like, yo, it'd be like 120,000 people there. And the venue only really, like, cause they say like Hall H only fits like 6,000 people, but you got 120,000 in the whole entire venue. Like, oh shit.
And unfortunately, some stereotypes about nerds are true for some of the people there. So you're gonna run into a lot of mustiness. Yeah. So prepare for that. But also, if you plan on doing, you gotta really. It's like a whole thing to get tickets. It's like trying to get some rare ass shoes. So it's not easy to get. It's not an easy ticket to get. So you really gotta do some research on how to get one. So I think it's like a raffle or a lottery system now. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do my research with that. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the nerds being nerds, one of the little anime things that happened around here in Dallas or somewhere, I can't remember which, but one of the girls that I know that's anime, she went to one of them and she said part of her thing was she had a booth or whatever, so that where she was just handing out soap and deodorant for folks. She was like, hey, she's like, I'm just being honest, like I just want to help folks out, like. I'm giving out deodorant because, we all here in our anime stuff. We may look fire, maybe looking dope, but y'all be a little tart.
Yeah. Y'all didn't wash y'all ass before y'all came.
So I thought that was pretty fun that she did. I think it was like a year or so ago that she did that.
I'm sure people took them too.
Yeah, that's what she was like. She was like, it was really good. She was like, I bought like a certain. She said she was just handing it out. Like, I'm just like, here. Can't be having y'all walking around smelling all tart when I'm about to be in these halls too. At that, like, hey, come go ahead, hey,
right,
hit them hot spots real quick.
Shout out to her.
Mm-hmm. But you can go ahead, give your social medias and all that, and we'll wrap it up.
So yeah, you can find me on Twitter at despicable_free, on Instagram at freeluminati. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, because they about to ban TikTok, and I don't post videos on TikTok anyway. I just watch other shit. Yeah. I watch other people's videos. And Facebook, no, I'm not doing that. I don't even know why I still have a Facebook, but
it's really just for family. And I'm like,
right. I might post an article here and there, but I'm not very active on it. And yeah, that's about it. Catch me on Inaudible Ruckus, me and Smilez. New schedule every other week now, so every other Saturday you can catch a new episode. You can catch Blerds In The Trap every month on Mondays. We're gonna have a new episode coming real soon. Cop a t-shirt on the Inaudible Ruckus podcast website in the shop. Cop a Blerds In The Trap t-shirt. Cop a Music Impulse t-shirt. Cop an Inaudible Ruckus t-shirt. Cop a Let Me Book the Territory t-shirt. Support the whole squad.
Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're taking over like TDE, nigga.
Yeah. On the head top.
Yeah. But appreciate you doing this, my guy. This has been another episode of the Music Impulse. It's your boy Smilez. I'm here with my guy, Cousin Free, and we out.
Peace.